There was a moment today, maybe this morning, maybe 5 minutes ago, when something felt uncertain. Psalm 136 was written for that exact moment. This psalm was written to be repeated, to be sung back, to be carried in your chest on the days when praise is the last thing you feel like doing. Every single verse of this psalm ends the same way. 26 times, God interrupts the story to remind you of the same one thing. Stay with it, and you'll feel why.
Psalms 136, His Tender Love. Let everyone thank God, for He is good and He is easy to please. His tender love for us continues on forever. Give thanks to God, our King over all gods. His tender love for us continues on forever. Give thanks to the Lord over all lords. His tender love for us continues on forever. Give thanks to the only miracle-working God. His tender love for us continues on forever. Give thanks to the Creator who made the heavens with wisdom. His tender love for us continues on forever. To Him who formed dry ground, raising it up from the sea, His tender love for us continues on forever. Praise the One who created every heavenly light. His tender love for us continues on forever. He set the sun in the sky to rule over day. His tender love for us continues on forever. Praise Him who set in place the moon and stars to rule over the night. His tender love for us continues on forever. Give thanks to God, who struck down the firstborn in Egypt. His tender love for us continues on forever. He brought His people out of Egypt with miracles. His tender love for us continues on forever. With His mighty power, He brought them out. His tender love for us continues on forever. He split open the Red Sea for them. His tender love for us continues on forever. And led His people right through the middle. His tender love for us continues on forever. vanquished Pharaoh's armies, drowning them all. His tender love for us continues on forever. He led his people through the wilderness. His tender love for us continues on forever. He's the one who smashed mighty kingdoms. His tender love for us continues on forever. He triumphed over powerful kings who stood in his way. His tender love for us continues on forever. He conquered Sihon, king of the Amorites. His tender love for us continues on forever. He conquered the giant named Og, king of Bashan. His tender love for us continues on forever. Then he gave away their lands as an inheritance. His tender love for us continues on forever. For he handed it all over to Israel, his beloved. His tender love for us continues on forever. He's the God who chose us when we were nothing. His tender love for us continues on forever. He has rescued us from the power of our enemies. His tender love for us continues on forever. He provides food for hungry men and animals. His tender love for us continues on forever. Give thanks to the great God of the heavens. His tender love for us continues on forever.
Mercy is not the moment you are rescued. Mercy is the rice you have been eating every night without knowing who chose the grain. Mercy not as intervention, but as ongoing, ambient provision. Mercy is not about a single rescue. It is about a mercy that was there before the need was named.
The rice kept splitting beneath her hand. She pressed it into the bowl the way she always did, the way she had done every evening for months, but the grains would not hold. Her kitchen was narrow and warm. A fluorescent light flickered above the counter. She worked beneath it anyway, the way a person works beneath a sky they've stopped noticing. Her name was Lien, 31, thin-wristed with a ridge of callus across her right thumb from years of gripping a paring knife slightly wrong. Her kitchen window opened onto a concrete courtyard where she kept a single white plastic table. Rainwater pooled in a shallow depression on the table's surface catches orange sodium city light. And 2 chairs. One was hers, the other had been her mother's. She had not moved the second chair. She had not sat at the table in 4 months. Every evening she cooked. She portioned the food onto 2 plates. One she would eat. One she would cover with a cloth, leave overnight, and scrape into the bin come morning without looking. She had done this every night since the chair outside went empty. Then something entered through the gap in the window. A moth, pale green, wider than her open hand, drifting with a slow pulse through the failing light. It landed on the cloth that covered the second plate and opened its wings. She stopped pressing the rice. Each wing carried a translucent marking at its center, not an eye, but something shaped like one, designed not for seeing, but for surviving. Light passed through these marks and left 2 faint pools of glow on the cloth beneath. The moth had no mouth. It would never eat. Everything sustaining it had been stored in an earlier life, carried forward into this brief and luminous form. The fluorescent tube flickered twice and dimmed. The moth did what moths do. It stayed near the light. It lifted, drawn toward the steadier warmth from the window, the city's orange glow. It passed so close to her face that the breeze from its wings moved the loose strands at her temple. She followed it with her eyes. She noticed the courtyard as if for the first time. Outside, the moth circled the white plastic table once and landed on the rim beside a shallow pool of rainwater. Its wings opened, the green caught in the water's surface, and held in a place where nothing had been for months. She looked at the moth, wings open and still. The verse arrived not as words she read, but as something older, something her mother had hummed while cooking in this same kitchen. Give thanks to the God of all gods, for his tender mercy endures forever. She stood holding her plate, looking at the covered food she would not uncover. Her thumb circled the callus on her finger, the old habit. Then the circling stopped. She did not throw the covered food away. She crossed the threshold in her cracked slippers and felt the cooler air meet her forearms. She placed her plate on the table beside the water. She sat down. The chair creaked, a sound so familiar it was almost not a sound at all. She ate the rice with her fingers, salt first, then underneath it, jasmine, the same grain her mother had always bought. She chews slowly, her eyes close as she remembers her mother's word. Give thanks to the only miracle-working God. His tender love for us continues on forever. Above the courtyard, the moth rose past the hanging laundry, green against white, like a single mark of color on an empty page. It rose past the roofline, past the lit windows, into the space between buildings where the city light faded and something older began. The water on the table held the last green shimmer of its wings, then stilled. The second chair was empty, but the first one, for the first time in months, was not.